So the WNBA, they're still pushing for a pay increase. They're now changing up their words a bit or trying out a new strategy. On a recent podcast appearance, Las Vegas Aces All-Star guard Kelsey Plum complained about their salaries and said that she wanted to clear up misconceptions about their argument over equal pay in professional basketball between men and women.
We are not asking you to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking you to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Got it. So that's a huge misconception.
That's a huge misconception.
Got it. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, because every video is like, oh, this person gets paid this person gets paid that, right?
So I want to be really clear about that. Like, I don't think I should get paid the same as LeBron.
Right.
But the percentage of revenue, like, for example, they sell my jersey in Mandalay Bay, I don't get a dime.
You don't get any money from jersey sales?
That's great.
In the NBA, they have percentages of revenue shared for the players, right? So jersey sales, obviously their TV contracts. You see these every year, these contracts get bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah.
Massive.
But that's because their CBA, it negotiates where if the owners are making certain types of money, they get that as well.
Got it.
In the WNBA, that's not the case.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from Las Vegas, drop Las Vegas below in the comments. Back in 2018, WNBA player A'ja Wilson tweeted this out after she was pocket watching LeBron James. It was announced that summer that LeBron will be accepting a $154 million 4-year contract to lead the Cavaliers and take his talents to Los Angeles. And I don't know why these WNBA players will be comparing themselves to LeBron James, but A'ja Wilson, she plays for Las Vegas. She tweeted this in response. She said, 154M? Must be nice. We over here looking for an M. But Laura, let me get back in my lane. So now her teammate Kelsey, she's still complaining about the WNBA salaries versus NBA salaries. But she's saying that she's clearing up a misconception that they're not asking to be paid as much as LeBron James. They just want the same revenue sharing percentages as the men in the NBA. Kelsey, she's like, NBA players receive around 50% of shared revenue within their league, whereas they receive 20%. And real quick, in the WNBA, there are a few ways for players to earn direct compensation. Number 1, their base salary. Number 2, bonuses. The third way is marketing agreements. And the fourth and final way is revenue sharing. Those are the 4 ways that WNBA players, they are able to earn money directly from the WNBA. Now, they are able to go and get endorsement deals and contracts outside of the WNBA, but those are the 4 ways that they can get paid from the league. Of those 4 ways to WNBA compensation, only 3 of them have been put into effect in the current collective bargaining agreement, which runs through the 2027 season, but could be opted out in 2025. And this is why revenue sharing is going to be a hot topic in the WNBA for years to come, because they see this as an opportunity to at least get these women to $1 million salaries. The problem with the current agreement is they're not likely to see much money, if any, from revenue sharing because it's contingent on the league hitting revenue targets. As of now, they are operating at a loss of at least $10 million per year. That revenue generated is about $60 million a year, but they're spending $70 million. Not to mention, it's the NBA that's funding the loss. So it sounds like the original idea of making NBA players give them money from their own salaries, that's not going to work. And then constantly trying to tell the WNBA to pay them all $1 million, that won't work. Now they're moving to the next strategy, which is going to bring them back to the same issue. If they just flat out paid them all $1 million, the yearly loss will easily increase to over $100 million, which is why it's so ridiculous and it will never work that way. But of course, the women, they didn't care when they proposed that idea. They didn't care where the money would come from. In their eyes, if the WNBA losses went from $10 million per year to, let's say, $110 million per year, I guess they expect for the NBA to cover that as well. No different from the revenue sharing. If they had to share revenue off the top without having to hit revenue targets, they will still be paying much higher salaries to the WNBA players, making the operating costs tremendously higher. The revenue still the same, so the loss will be larger. That can easily take their losses from $10 million a year up to $40 million per year at the most. Either way, who will they be looking to cover those losses? Oh yeah, that's right, the NBA. First, if they want to make changes to their collective bargaining agreement, They can in a couple of years. They should be speaking to their players association. They have one. And not these podcasts. They are making public statements, attempting to gain public support from all the feminist and women empowerment ladies to jump on board and try to put pressure on the NBA to support them more than what they already are. That's what's happening. The goal here is to shame players like LeBron James and his colleagues into agreeing to give them more money or cover bigger losses by any means necessary. Whether they do what Lisa Leslie suggested and get NBA players to donate from their pockets directly, or they get them to support paying them $1 million each and the NBA can fund the $100 million plus loss, or they can pressure the WNBA to remove the contingency on the revenue sharing and ultimately still make the NBA cover tens of millions of dollars in losses for them to make money. I've stated my position on this before in the past. These women are experiencing these issues because women have failed them. Kelsey's like, when they sell my jersey, I don't get anything for it. What Kelsey isn't understanding is that nobody's really buying her jersey. The league, they're actually losing more money running production on these jerseys because there's no demand for them. Please tell me the last time you saw anybody wearing a WNBA jersey outside of the players. Personally, I've never seen it a day of my life. Even little girls growing up watching basketball, they wanted to wear the men's jerseys because they were more popular. All of the so-called female empowerment rappers and entertainers and singers, they don't brag about being courtside at the WNBA. They want to be seen courtside at the NBA game. You know, that's because that's where all the excitement is. That's where the eyeballs are. That's what more people are interested in. People like Malika Andrews and her sister, they don't want to interview WNBA players at the post-game conference or courtside. They want to be seen on the sidelines with NBA players. Her whole show is about the NBA, not the WNBA. NBA is in the title, and she's one of the top misandrists out there. Same for Jemele Hill. She's not trying to interview WNBA players. She's always trying to interview men in sports and entertainment. The only women they highlight is Brittany Griner, and that's only because eyeballs are on Brittany's case, and most people believe that her sentencing was excessive. But we have to admit, modern women want attention, and they know they can't get any attention speaking on the WNBA, so they don't, although the league was made for women. As for Kelsey, what she's asking for either way is a tough sell for a league that can't turn a profit, and y'all are only surviving on handouts from the NBA. Paying the WNBA a larger cut, it only means higher subsidies from their benefactor, the NBA. Bottom line, you all need to become more profitable before even speaking like this. The business can't even stand on its own. And then the WNBA is still trying to avoid tackling its number one issue, and that's increasing interest in the league. Instead of trying to gather the feminists to march for equal pay, you need to be asking those feminists to open up their purses and purchase season passes. And just like feminists would pay female dating coaches $10,000 to take them to a professional game, they need to figure out how to get those same women interested in paying thousands of dollars to see a WNBA game. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. Should the WNBA increase the players' revenue sharing percentage and take away the contingency of having to hit revenue goals? Or should the league fall further into debt in order to make the women happy? Shout out to our brothers Dark Power and Kelvin. I appreciate you all for your support. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.